What's going on YouTube? Claykeys all back again with another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys a breakdown of the game. I'm going to give you guys my opinions and my first impressions of it, and then give you guys, just that little taste that you guys need to learn, if you guys are going to be interested when the game releases and what the beta has to offer. This video is sponsored by Omni Heroes, a new heroic fantasy casual strategy RPG coming soon to iOS and Android. Omni Heroes is starting off with a big pre-registration event starting July 13th, and not only can you earn in-game rewards, but by participating you can enter for a chance to win some great prizes as well. Omni Heroes allows you to collect over 100 powerful heroes and strategically use them in battle to conquer your enemies as the Omni Guardian. Build your teams in battle in epic PvE fights, and if you're feeling dangerous, take on other users in the epic PvP battles as well. Omni Heroes has a great, unique synergy system where you can draw heroes in the gacha, then use your big brains to put together amazing team comps to destroy your opponents. As you can see here in the video, strategy is key in your success, but also note that this is the beta version of the game, guys. I'm showing off, and the interface may change in the final version. Everyone can earn up to 777 free pulls in this event. If we reach 100 million pre-registrations, we can earn the legendary hero Dorabella for everyone, so make sure you guys go and pre-register. Along with that, 99 lucky winners will be receiving a $100 Amazon gift card, and 10 users are going to get themselves a new iPhone 14 Pro, so click the link in the description below to get pre-registered. If you're on iOS, you guys are going to have to go to the official website to pre-register, but don't worry, you have the same chance to get the in-game rewards and your chance entered to win those prizes. If you're on Android, just go to Google Play and click pre-register. Guys, make sure you're pre-registered. Let's hit these goals, and thank you again to Omni Heroes for sponsoring us. Let's get back to the rest of the video. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the menus in the game. One of the things I was worried about is that Final Fantasy VII is an IP that they keep using because people love it, and it's very, very important to Square Enix, and I was worried when they came out with a game that was a mobile game that was just Final Fantasy VII that they may be slacking on some of the time they put into it. But boy, was I wrong. The menus in this game are incredible. They're very well made, very different. The fonts to the actual menus, it is all Final Fantasy VII feeling. The graphics in it, there was time put into this game, which makes me feel very confident that the game itself is going to succeed because of what they've put into it, the time they've put into it, the graphic style, the storytelling, etc., the gameplay modes, everything just seems like a top-tier mobile game, as opposed to when they just, those anime games they put out sometimes, like Sword Art Online, that'll come out and it looks exactly like every other mobile game that has an anime. They're just draining the IP of all the money they can. This doesn't seem like that type of project. There are going to be different game modes you guys can get into, so we're going to head over to story. And this is going to be probably very important for a lot of people out there, because there is going to be story. They always talk about, you don't know Sephiroth, and the young Sephiroth, etc. This is where we're going to get that story in. But you can play different Final Fantasy VII games and relive some of the stories. So we have Final Fantasy VII right now in the beta. We have Crisis Core, and then we have the First Soldier. And once you click one of these stories, it will actually take you into the game. Like, you will be playing the game from the beginning. So, for example, this is all the extra stuff. When I started this Mako reaction, this is actually the beginning game. It played me the Final Fantasy VII Remake beginning intro thing, which was kind of cool. And you guys get in here, and the way this is going to work, this is like missions you guys have in most mobile games. When you click it, you can see that it has a story mode, as you can see, a battle, and then an exploration. So some of them don't have all of that. Some of them are just story. When you click it, you just watch a story. Some of them is a story, and then it has like a little random battle that doesn't make any sense they put in there. And then some of them you actually have to walk around and explore and battle and watch story. It's very cool. And again, like I said, it doesn't follow the story exactly. So you're not going to get in here and this is going to be like a replacement to playing the original game, but it is cool to see how they put, they show different things that you haven't seen before, or they show some of the same things, and they have 3 different types of graphics they have. They have like the normal PlayStation 1 graphics that you're used to with Final Fantasy VII, and then you have like the anime looking graphics that you guys can see on some of the stuff, and then they also have the super hardcore like remake graphics that look like PS5, PS4 kind of graphics, which I think is cool that they've thrown that all into here for you guys to enjoy. Because again, I am playing this on an emulator, so it's not going to run as smooth or as good looking as it will on an actual device, or once we get the once we get the exact emulator we want for the best graphics. But my goodness, again, like I said, look at this menu. It looks a little overwhelming, but it looks beautiful to me. They did a great job with this, and you can see it kind of gets complicated, right? So there were elements that you guys have, sigils used to break enemies, and then each of the characters themselves have 2 main weapons they have on, okay? They have a costume that can give some stats, or a skin. they have a limit break that you can put on, and 3 materia. But that's not all. Let's head over here to Cloud. I'll show you guys a little bit of things with him as far as you can go in. So we have command abilities. Now, these are the abilities. This is like the loadout of what your character can have in order to, you know, maximize what you're going to do in the battle, right? So what I mean by that is my Cloud has Cure, and that's going to be coming from one of these materia over here, Cure right here. But like in other games, most of the time, the characters themselves, like, for example, Aerith would be like a support character. But in this game, it seems more to me that characters will be good at certain things, but all characters can do everything. So I could have that Cure on Cloud if I wanted to. I could have that Cure on Zack, or I could have, you know, big damage on Aerith, etc. I could maximize how I want to do that. So those are going to be through the command abilities. This is also where you're going to want to build elemental advantage, which is going to be very huge in this game. I do believe when you hit an enemy that has, you know, weakness to your element, is like 50% more damage. It's going to be one of the biggest multipliers in the game for damage. And then you also need to have a wide spread of sigils to be able to break the enemy when the time comes. Moving on from that, we do have the limit break, which we've talked about. And we have these abilities here are going to be a way for you to, if we go ahead and go to our abilities, this is going to be a way for you to get certain stats and certain passives that you built up. And it's going to be over all of your equipment. So let me break this down. For example, physical strength up, I have it up to level 3 for a total of 22 points into it. To get to the next level, which I'll go ahead and go over here and I'll click on that. So if we go to physical strength up, to get to the next level, I need to get to 25 points. I have a total of 22 points. At level 3, physical attack is up 60 and 15%. Once I get to level 4, that increases to 100 and plus 20%. And how's that calculated? Each of these items, okay, can have physical strength up, physical defense up, magic up, all kinds of different stats, all kinds of different passives. But it takes all of them, adds them together, gives you a number, and that is the level your character will have as far as the physical strength up, you know, category. So you can go all the way up to level 7, plus 100, plus 50%. That's pretty strong, but you have to get to 55 points. So it's kind of like a puzzle where we have to put this stuff together to make sure that we have as high up as a level as we can, while not slacking on the other things that we may want, right? There's also sub-equipment, and it says here, sub-weapons will reflect 50% of the points shown. So, for example, if this item here is giving up 4 strength up, right? So if I go to this item, we go to sub-equipment, we go to this item. So this is a Barrett micro laser, right? And we go down to the strength up. See how it's giving 4 points on its passive here? It's not actually giving Cloud 4 points, and that is because it only gives half of that. So that's why you saw the 2 points. So Cloud himself can actually put on different characters' items in the sub-equipment, but it's only going to give those passives at a half rate onto this board, if that makes sense. So besides the C abilities, command abilities, limit break, R abilities, and then we also have S abilities. These abilities come from different breakpoints in your weapons. Those are going to be the abilities you have, passives, etc., to make your character stronger through the equipment system. So let's look over at everything you can put on a character. You have a skin, you have an outfit. Now this can be used as a skin as well. So let's say I get the new Murasame Cloud skin. He's like a samurai, but I love him looking like he's a soldier. I want his soldier outfit on. We can just put that skin on, but in battle, I can have his, you know, Murasame, it puts up lightning damage. I don't have it, but if I had it, it would give me those lightning damage up. Or, let's say I want to have physical strength up from this outfit. So they do give some of those points to those R abilities to help you hit those thresholds that you may need. Then we have a limit break, which you guys can put on level up. There's different ways in growth that you can get new limit breaks to have equipped, depending on what you guys want. You'll have 2 main weapons you can put on. You'll have your big main weapon, which is where you guys are going to get your S abilities from, which will be the main equipment here. And then you have kind of like a side weapon down here that also gives you a command ability that will help add to that. Then you'll have 3 materia slots. You can put whatever materia you want on here. We have Rune Blow here. You can have Cure. Like I said before, Cloud, I have him have my Cure on. I honestly need to move that over to Tifa because Tifa has a weapon that gives healing potency up. But that's going to be all I'm putting it on. You can have 3 of those. You can level those up. And again, you can have sub-equipment that does not have to be character-specific to Cloud, for example. I have a Red 13 and a Barrett weapon here that are giving me passives. And I have to unlock at player 10. Once I get to player rank 10, I can put 3 of them on, again, to get the best passives that I can get on my character. So now you know everything you can put on a character. Again, it's complicated, but it's not. It's like a puzzle you have to figure out, which is just like FFVII was. We're going to have how do you level up your weapons, how do you get all these nice passives, and how do you get stronger. So just like a character in this game, you can level up the weapon. It makes it stronger, and it increases its So like if I go to optimize, it'll show you what it's going to put up. And that's going to put up my stats on the weapon. So make Cloud stronger with just stats. So I'm going to go ahead and do that actually. I need to get that done. And that's going to cost us material that we get throughout the game, through grinding dungeons, etc. So now I get to level 50. The next step I can do is to make its level increase. So I can uncap its level, so I can level it up even more. When I do that, I actually do get some unlocks to the R abilities, which is going to put lightning potency up. And again, that's going to add it to that R ability thing where we have to try to, you know, mix and match all these things, get it to certain levels. This actually gets it all the way up to level 3, which is kind of cool. It gives you enough points, but it also gives us the S abilities here, which is going to be physical attack up, which is going to be great. But the way to get that is I have to go farm dungeons like you're used to in games, and get these materials and then uncap the level, and then I can level that up from there. The next thing you can do is increase its rarity. So for the Murasame, it came at me. I got a 5-star of that version, but some of the other weapons you have 3-star, 4-star, and then you can make it up to 5-star, and what you need to do that is you need to get some of these blueprints. Now, at a 5-star rarity, you don't upgrade the rarity, you overboost it. So you can see I've already overboosted it twice. You guys can get these from pulling dupes. There are dailies that you can do. We'll talk about here in a little bit, and I'm sure there are going to be events and some shop things that you guys can get. But as you overboost it, it does increase your, it looks like it's going to increase the physical strength up and going to increase the stats. So that increases both, again, allowing you to hit those thresholds that you may need. As far as how to make a character itself, not the weapons, but a character itself increase in strength, you have the character level, which you guys can do from doing character dungeons, experience dungeons, or just playing the game. Every time you finish a battle, you get experience just like in a normal game. Or you can head over to the character stream or the live stream for the character, and it's going to have nodes that you can unlock that makes the character better. It doesn't have to do with the weapons, right? And this is going to be kind of like a sphere grid system, although I think you just will eventually unlock everything. It kind of reminds me of the Esper board in FFVE, honestly. And the way you do this, you just go in here, you unlock, and it's either going to cost you a certain amount of character memories, specific character memories, like Aerith memories, as you guys can see here, or it's going to cost, you can use character's master memory. Now, these master memories, I'm going to keep in my back pocket because they're like a joker. They can be used for anything. You really just want to use the character memories themselves until you really are in a bind, and then I'd probably use the other ones. But again, we don't know what it's going to be like on release, but that's kind of like, you know, what we normally do in these gacha games. You guys can get these memories from the tower. I know there are one-time rewards in the tower. You guys can get them from the shop, special shops, which I'm assuming will be through in-game events. And then multiplayer medals is where you can get them as well. That's why doing multiplayer will be so important. On top of that, we're scrolling down. This is where you guys are going to be able to unlock another limit break. So right now, Aerith has Healing Wind, but we can unlock Seal Evil if we do all of these things with Aerith in our party. All of these different, you know, quests or missions we need to complete specifically for Aerith and make it be done, right? So that's what I think is very cool, is that they have a way for you to unlock these limit breaks, but you have to do all these achievements to unlock them, and that just feels good to me for some reason. So I really like that, and I look forward to getting more into the character stream and see what they do for it on release. At the beginning of the beta, and I'm unsure if these will be unlocked through story or if they'll have them on release, okay? This is just how it was given to me in the beta. We already had all of the characters you see on screen unlocked. So we have Cloud, Barret, Tifa, Aerith, Red 13, Zack, and then we have some newcomers, and I don't even know their names yet that well. We have Glenn, and then we have, let's see if I can get all their names here so you guys can see them. Matt, and then we have Glenn, Matt, and Lucia, and that's going to be from the first Soldier storyline, so that's how we got those. And I'm assuming they'll keep adding more as time goes through, kind of like Dissidia Opera Omnia. Heading over to the solo content part of the game where you guys can go in here and grind, we have the daily quest, and I know, guys, Tifa looks amazing. My goodness, just waifu extraordinaire. Graphics are insane right here. But if we go to mercenary requests, there's going to be daily quests you guys can complete. You can set up your rewards, and this is where you guys are going to get some of your weapon blueprints in order to maximize your weapons and max them out, make them stronger. And you guys can pick which ones you want, specific to each character. And it's cool because they will also tell you which weapons you don't have. But I think you guys can just go in here and let's pretend, let's try to put this on. Yeah, you guys can just go in and actually start earning towards those just in case you end up pulling them. But I want to put the Murasame back on because it's really strong. And then you guys can go in and select, and you guys can do the fight, and you guys have a chance at doing this. So we're going to run this real quick, and then I'm going to show you guys the end phase and like what the rewards look like. And here are the battle results. You can see I got 2 blueprints for the Murasame, and again, this weapon will require 200 to max out, so it's going to be a grind, guys, but it's cool that we do have a daily way to go in there and grab that stuff up. And be working towards that. Next up, we have enhancement quests, and this is going to be where you're going to get your weapon materials to be able to max out the level and increase it. And we have different types from steel, titanium to rose gold, and this is just for different weapon types, etc. You know, just to give a different variety for each one. We have training quests. This is where you guys are going to go if you want to maximize the experience you guys can get on your characters and max them out. And then I also have synthesis quests, but that's for leveling up materia, and I haven't unlocked that in the game yet. We have summon quests, which again I haven't unlocked yet. I need to get to level 20 of the tower, which is right here. The tower you can go in. You guys have done tower modes in a lot of gacha. It's going to be like level 1 all the way up, and this is where you guys can go in for a little bit of a challenge and get one-time rewards, which include some of the memories you guys need to level up those, stream nodes for your characters, make them stronger. And there are bosses on each of the floors here. And then here we have a recipe for certain materia, which you guys can get your hands on, which again, it gets more in depth as you move through. We have up to level 30 here, and I think you have to fight Ifrit, which is kind of cool. But that's going to be the tower mode. And then last but not least, we have story quests that will come available in a future release. I have no idea what that is. And then we have dungeons, and this is where you guys can go in and replay some of the old dungeons you guys have unlocked, and it's more of an exploration. You have boss battles in here. You can get rewards, tickets, etc., and even some of the premium currency, and it's like an exploration. Like, you need to make sure you go. That's why it says 66%. I need to go back in, get all of these missions along with getting all the treasure chests. That's pretty much it for the solo content on this part, at least this part of the beta that they've released. There is going to be multiplayer content, and as we saw, there's going to be a shop where you guys can get your memories for your characters from this. In the beta, they had certain times where you guys could come in and do multiplayer and test it out. I was never on during those times. I never lined it up correctly, so I'm sorry about not being able to show that off. But you can create a lobby, invite friends, enter a room ID to join somebody else's, because if I try to do this right now, it's going to say no multiplayer battles available. But, you team up with a group of friends, just like, so you bring one character, and then they bring one as well. And then you fight some of these battles, and I think it's a cool way to be able to get in, grind, and play with other people. I always like when multiplayer is added, because I like to play with you guys, the community, and then my friends as well. And you can kind of carry some people, maybe if you're Cloud or you're Zack, etc., are super strong, and then you can pick and choose what materia you want to put on. If you want to be like more of a healer support type, you put that materia and those weapons on, and you can help do it that way. So I'm not sure how this is going to work in the main game, as far as if I don't think it's going to be like a limited thing where you can only do it at certain times. I think that's more for the beta because of server congestion, and they want to stress test the beta and their servers. But yeah, looking forward to multiplayer in the game. Moving on to one of my favorite areas of the game, it's the Chocobo farm, and it's pretty cool. You guys can go here, raise Chocobo up, and they're going to be used in expeditions. If we head over, we can go to Chocobo expedition. That's what I'm talking about. So you can unlock up to 3. You have to spend like your currency to unlock them, and I've unlocked one more, but I only have one Chocobo at the moment. You guys can pick from different areas that you guys can go on expeditions for, and depending on which one you go to, this little markup here is going to be like the terrain you have to work through, which is going to be important, and these are the rewards you can get. So you can click this, you can see the different rewards. You guys can get Chocobo medals, and this is what we're going to use in the Chocobo exchange in order to get new Chocobo that'll be faster, stronger, have different attributes. You guys can see we do have a stamp sticker, and this dog is very important to the remake story. A little Easter egg there. We do have bookmark, which use the shortened synthesis time, which is going to be for materia. We have these Choco boosters, which to me look like cookies. They're going to be used to shorten the Chocobo expedition time. And then we have, you can get weapon, EXP items, and then you can also get the ore that you need to do the materia synthesis, which again, I haven't unlocked yet in the beta. I haven't played it enough. So you can pick a different expedition, and then you select a Chocobo and a character to go along with them, and over time, they will collect certain items, okay? And you always want to keep these running. We head over to the Chocobo stable. You can rename your Chocobo. I haven't renamed my Chocobo yet. They have a certain rank. They have stats, which are important, and they have traits. And these traits are going to be, good for when they go on the expedition, what they bring back, how long it takes them to get items. So it's going to be a fun little mini game you guys get to play to, kind of get the best Chocobo you can get. If you head over to the exchange, this is where you're going to be able to buy your Chocobo. It's going to cost a lot of medals if you want to go for the E rank, G plus rank, H plus rank, and then it refills every day, it looks like, on the daily reset. And it's random. So if I click on this, I pay 50. I don't know what I'm going to end up getting. So it's going to be a very cool little thing to be working on as you're leveling your characters as well. A little side project. And I love the area. You can walk around. It just reminds me so much of the original game, Final Fantasy VII. They really nailed this one out of the park. And I'm really glad they added Chocobo to it. So after showing you guys all of that, going over all of this game, what are my final thoughts? Do I have any critiques? Do I have anything I'm worried about? So first and foremost, the game blew my expectations out of the water. I, again, thought these menus might not be that great. I thought maybe the battle system would feel clunky. I thought maybe it wouldn't have as in-depth, equipment or strategy that we could have in a game like this. I thought it might just be bait for the IP, and it actually turns out it's nothing like that, at least from what I've touched. I've loved every moment I've had with the game. I do see the potential, to have a lot of strategy based on the game itself, have a lot of different equipment, materia, level up the materia, summons, all kinds of different combinations, and you can use the characters. A lot of people like the idea of just having the characters there, and then you can use the characters in different ways with their weapons. Now, here's where the criticism comes in, okay? What I worry about with the game. I am worried at the fact that it's only Final Fantasy VII characters. And I know you might be like, Clayk, they've had other mobile games that are only characters from a certain IP, but it is only Final Fantasy VII. Now, it doesn't mean they have to stay with that, right? They can collab with other Final Fantasy VII brands. Like, at one point, I was thinking maybe they could have Brotherhood be put into the game from Final Fantasy X, and a Tidus outfit, and it actually turns Cloud into Tidus. You know what I mean? Or Clive from Final Fantasy XVI. Maybe we get his weapon, and then we get, a Clive skin, or etc., Uniskin, whatever. That's something they could probably definitely do, and the same goes for, like, Nier Automata or Kingdom Hearts. They could have the Keyblade in the game, and somehow that would work out. I think it's something they could do, but I do worry they won't do stuff like that because the Final Fantasy VII IP is very... they don't like things being messed with too much, from what I understand, so... I don't really know how that's going to go down the line. And also pulling for weapons. And I know you guys did this in Opera Omnia and Record Keeper, two games I didn't play too much. I played Opera Omnia a lot more than I played Record Keeper. It's not as, in my opinion, as exciting as pulling for the character itself. So, I don't know exactly. Maybe it will be because it's like Samurai Cloud, right? Like we have the Murasame. It's like, okay, I want Samurai Cloud. But I do wonder how they're going to stick to... keeping it super exciting as we have to pull for different weapons. Now, the skins are kind of cool, right? So that's another aspect to it, like I just said. But we'll have to see how it goes. It's not like I'm losing excitement now, but I'm just saying that that's something I do worry about a little bit moving forward. We have no idea about the events because they are not unlocked. It's not unlockable in the beta whatsoever. So we'll have to look forward to that. There should be much more story games, Dirge of Cerberus, Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII Remake might even be in here. They might just spin it and just put Final Fantasy VII Remake as one of the things you can do. Cool to see that, and a lot of different things they can bring out with the story here. Just I think overall they have a great ground basis for what's going on. They have a little bug fixes they need to fix up as I played through. Again, if you want to know more about the gacha, which I didn't really talk about the gacha in this video, it's because my last video goes in depth with it and shows off the gacha pulls. I think they did a great job with how the gacha works currently. Hopefully, they don't change it too much when it comes to release. But I got to give the game 2 thumbs up. That's at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm happy and I'm excited to play for a release. We don't have an official release date. I think the iOS placeholder date, which is never right, is like September 30th? So I'm assuming they might have a couple more closed betas or open betas to test the game out for the future. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think about the game now that you've seen it in its full glory. Subscribe for future content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.